And then in the afternoon we will continue meditating and also start analyzing the text, especially because the text is quite long, especially its first part, which summarizes what is explained. So now let us go. I haven't got the printed copy, but it will come next day. The translation is made by my friend Ellen Wallace, and it is from Tibetan. And Ellen Wallace is a very good scholar, intellectual. He is using sometimes very complicated language in English, which the Chinese makes it very simple. Chinese are very skillful in making difficult things very simple. This is a Chinese talent. And so we will explain then on the base of Chinese how the Sanskrit original terms, what they are. Unfortunately, we have also the Sanskrit text. I don't have it with me, but I have it to some extent in my memory. And the translation of this text of the Yogacara Bhumi Shastra, from this, which this text coming, is translated by Xuanzang, and as you know, Xuanzang was a great master of Sanskrit. There is a legend, which I don't know if it is true, that at the time of Xuanzang already this text was lost, and Xuanzang has retranslated it into Sanskrit again, from Chinese into Sanskrit. So that's why in China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, for many, many generations, is always a discussion about this text, whether it is really to be attributed to the incredible talent of Ashwagosha, who cannot fail in any of the bodhisattva lineages. Every bodhisattva lineage, no matter whether in Tibet or in China, must have Ashwagosha. But Ashwagosha was, of course, a Sarvastivadin monk, it is pretty sure. But a great talent. And one of the greatest poets till the present day in a mastery of Sanskrit language. So these texts start explaining in general terms what we know or should know. I will put it all into few sentences. The meditation on the breath is meditation called the mindfulness of the breath. And mindfulness of the breath is mindfulness of inhalation and exhalation. In this text, it is the inhalation has two parts. First is inhalation through the nose, and then what is called the interim. Interim translates in Chinese the in-between. In-between, so you have inhalation, then in-between exhalation. In this in-between exhalation, you don't have any particular place of attention. So naturally, the attention will spread to the whole body. When the attention spreads to the whole body, then you will start to be aware that even when you're not breathing, actually the body is breathing. And this bodily breath is called the subtle breath. As opposed to the breath we breathe in and out through the nose or mouth. If you want to learn this meditation, you should never try to breathe through the mouth because it becomes immediately the rough breath. So in Chinese tradition, before learning the meditation on the breath, you learn also how to distinguish between the breath which is favorable for samadhi and breath which is not favorable for samadhi. The breath which you take through the mouth is never really favorable for samadhi, because it is the result of a great effort in the body. And the first thing you do in meditating on the breath, you relax in a steady and comfortable posture. So when you climb up the mountain, you catch for the breath. But if you learn with some Taoist master or the Tibetan Dzogchen master, they will climb up the mountain without using the mouth, even the very high mountain and very difficult mountain. They will even run very fast without using the mouth, because the mouth makes the breath very rough. So the yoga books say that the breath of a yogi, even the gods cannot hear. And the gods have a very, very, very sensitive ears. They may be even hearing what we are saying now. So, not breathing through the mouth, why? Because the breath, first thing, the breath which is conducive to samadhi does not make any sound. If the breath is making sound, it means you are using a rough mind to observe the breath, and rough mind is connected with rough sensation. And rough sensation is connected with dullness and excitement. You are dull and excited because it is connected with rough breath. That we should also observe in daily life. So when we think of subtle things, the mind and the breath become subtle. When we think of the gross things, the breath becomes also gross. This is how the meditation on the breath can go into very deep subtleties. And that is why it is introduced in like Tiantai tradition, Theravada tradition, as the entry into the meditation as a whole. Those of you who have learned like the Vipassana methods without samadhi, they are not the traditional methods in Theravada. The Theravada, the traditional method, is the Vipassana based on samadhi. But if you're using the non-traditional method, go to Vipassana without samadhi, then, of course, first you work like in Goenka system, Mahasi system. First you work on making the sensation sublime. If the sensation is not sublime, there is no way of speak of any Vipassana at all.
What is sublime?
Sublime, subtle. Sublime means subtle. Or is it not so? I'm not an English expert. Subtle is better, no?
Yeah, sublime is related. I guess you can say it's more. Yeah, it also means refined.
I am not native English speaker, so you have to excuse me.
Yeah, so I think subtle means raw or fine.
Yeah, subtle is opposite of rough, and this is the best meaning, no?
In alchemy, sublimation is transformation from solid directly to vapor without passing through the liquid phase. So it has this.
It is also in Chinese, same idea, even in Chinese medicine.
And then when you say vipassana with or without samadhi, the samadhi here refers to...
Samadhi refers to at least the upachara samadhi.
What jhana is that?
Upachara samadhi is a jhana, to use a scientific explanation, in which you are still, the mind is still can be prone to change the object. In dhyana, the mind is fixed and does not change the object. You may have still all kinds of sensations, some subtle thoughts may arise, but you will not, you are fixed on the object. So the mind does not move away from the object. So, as a result, you cannot observe impermanence. Impermanence is there, but you cannot observe it. Because you are fixed. So the object does not change. When object does not change, sensation does not change. When sensation does not change, mind does not change. When mind does not change, you can go to dhyana. This is the same principle for dhyana with an object, like breath, and also the dhyana that you practice in Tibetan Buddhism without object, or in Zen. You can also go into dhyana, but it is not the traditional first dhyana, second dhyana, third dhyana, fourth dhyana, because you don't examine the causes of dhyana. Here you examine the causes of dhyana, so as not to get attached to it. That is vipassana.
But does it mean that in the non-traditional methods of attaining shamatha, where there is no object?
Only like not very deep shamatha, but rather superficial shamatha. But shamatha has to be there, otherwise the mind will not be subtle. No? When the mind is not subtle, you cannot differentiate the object. So that there is a rule in all Buddhist traditions, samahitam chitam yatha bhutam pasati. Only the mind in samadhi can see things as they really are, meaning the impermanence and beyond impermanence, if you are the shaiksha, the one who has already experience of nibbana. Okay, so we are getting some clarity. So you have then not two objects, we have explained you have four objects. So you have the exhalation and what he calls interim exhalation, inhalation, interim inhalation. And this interim inhalation, exhalation is called the exhalation or inhalation through the pores of the body. We have explained in modern scientific language the cell inhalation, exhalation. In order that the cells live, they have to expand and shrink. That is also inhalation and exhalation. That is a life faculty, or connected to life faculty. In every movement of the breath, they have to be a life faculty. If there is no life faculty, we cannot breathe. If we cannot breathe, we are not alive. But when we do not breathe through the nose, but the cells still have to stay alive. Right? So now he comes to a difficult term, vital energy. Huh? Vital energy is a difficult term. He makes it rather complicated. And there are good grounds for it. Vital energy in Sanskrit simply means the vayo dhatu. If there is no vayo dhatu in the body, you cannot move the body. You move the body because of the vayo dhatu, the element of wind. Now I am speaking because I have vayo dhatu in the body. If I don't have vayo dhatu in the body, I cannot speak anything. That's why he calls it vital energy. Similarly, in order to speak, I have to think. In order to think, I also need vayo dhatu. If I don't have vayo dhatu, I cannot think, I cannot speak, I cannot move the body. So that's why he calls it the vital energy. This vital energy in its subtle form is called prana. And prana, no matter how you discuss in Indian medicine, the 5 kinds of prana, those who study yoga are very familiar with it. So there are different kinds of prana, and these different kinds of prana, they are also, especially if you study Chinese medicine, Tibetan medicine, they are connected with the organs, functioning of the organs. Some organs take the vital energy up, some organs take it down, and some organs make it circulate. That's how we are alive. The Oriental medicine had a very, very deep, holistic approach to the understanding how our body works. And this holistic approach is based on the concept of prana or chi, which the Greeks were very familiar with, but for some reason the modern medicine has practically ignored up to modern times. So, because in-breath and out-breath, so in-breath and out-breath gives the direction to the vital energy, to the vayo dhatu. So when you breathe in, the vital energy goes up. When you breathe out, the vital energy goes down. Now, when you have more sensitivity, you will find yourself when you meditate. Meditation means developing sensitivity. Visuddhimagga explains that meditation on the breath is nothing but the through concentration and wisdom, sublimating, we can say, sublimating the breath through concentration and wisdom. The sublimation of breath, since we are talking about the meditation on the breath, today is the first day, so the meditation on the breath is explained, the sublimation of the breath through concentration and wisdom is sublimation of breath through shamatha and vipassana. Now, in the Visuddhimagga, this is very important, you will find 8 stages of this sublimation. In the Chinese tradition, Tibetan tradition must be same, I'm not familiar. You have 6 stages, not 8. But they practically come to the same thing. So now, first shamatha, so first the 6 or 8 stages of the, 3 or 4 stages of the shamatha. how to sublimate the breath by concentration. The Patisambhida Magga, Visuddhimagga explains, and also this text. So the first step of sublimation of the breath is called counting, ganana. First you have to count the breath in order to make it sublime. The counting the breath is the preliminary cause of the sublimation of the breath. Counting the breath does not necessarily mean that you literally count it, but it means it is explained in Anapana Sutta by Sato va asasati, sato va pasasati. Sato va asasati, sato va pasasati. That means counting the breath. That means you are breathing in mindfully and breathing out mindfully. That means counting. The best way to get there, especially for beginners, is literal counting. In this text, this literal counting is very complicated. And in Chinese tradition, the meditation on the breath is called literally counting of the breath, shu xi. Why? Because finally, all this meditation is about is to develop mindfulness. Through the mindfulness you get awareness, and through awareness you get liberation. The body means awareness. That's what we're learning now also in this text. Body is nothing but awareness. But this awareness will only come when the mindfulness is perfected. If the mindfulness is not perfected, you will not have awareness. So when the mindfulness starts to crystallize, the awareness has the function. If the mindfulness does not crystallize, the awareness has no function. That is why it's so important to see without mindfulness there is no shamatha, there is no vipassana. The Theravada tradition explains mindfulness as more as shamatha. Apilapana means not wobbling, that is shamatha. The Northern tradition explains it as more as wisdom, because if your mind is wobbling, so you cannot distinguish anything. So it is both base for concentration and wisdom. Without mindfulness, no concentration, no wisdom. Without concentration and wisdom, sunk in ignorance. So, that is why this concentration on the breath, meditation on the breath, is getting away from ignorance by means of wisdom and concentration. This tradition, the Bodhisattva tradition, especially emphasizes wisdom. Wisdom is awareness, awareness is wisdom. Awareness, complete awareness is, as we are learning, is Buddha's mind. It's not our mind, it is Buddha's mind. Even an arahant in this tradition, Bodhisattva-based tradition, has not a complete 100% awareness. Why? Because he still has the vasanas, habits from his previous lives. The Buddha, only Buddha has not only removed all the defilements, but also the habits. When I become an Arahat, I am a Czech, so I will still like some Czech dishes more than, say, Tibetan dishes, because I have more Czech habits. This is a natural, this is not defilement, but it is a natural habit. But in case of Buddha, this does not exist. He will go to Thailand, he will have no preference. He will go to Czech, he will have no preference. He will go to Tibet, he will have no preference. He just takes what he needs. I take more the dishes I like, but it is not necessarily defilement. But in the case of Buddha, nothing like that.
And vasanas are imprints, just making sure.
Vasanas is a habitual energy, which controls the mind.
What are they called in English?
Impregnation. In Chinese, they call them impregnation of the mind.
Is it an
By habits.
imprints?
It has to do with imprints, but the imprints is kind of deeper. Impregnation not necessarily makes a deep imprint. The Arahat also does not collect samskaras. We collect samskaras because we have imprints in the mind. But if we just have the habit, like you more habitual to, say, Chinese food, there is Arahat Gavampati. You may have heard of him, one of the great Arahats. He's called Gavampati because he was a cow in many, many previous lives. Gau means cow. So this Gavampati, he is a great Arahat. He belongs to the one of the 18 great Arahats. But he, when he sits quietly, he's always doing like that. This is not a defilement. Moggallana, the great Moggallana, no one among the disciples had such powers like he. The great Maudgalyana, when he hears music, he cannot help but moving his body, because he was born many, many times in hell and many, many times in heaven. So he has habits of the hell, habits of the heaven. Due to habits of the hell, his skin is like blue. Due to the habits of the heaven, he is like Arjuna, the master of dancing. Because he has such a subtle body, he can fly up and so on, not like us. So we are all subjects to our previous karma, which is endless. But this previous karma can lead to defilements and must not lead to defilements.
Can I ask just a question, just to make clear? You was talking about the Arahants are not collecting sankharas, and we are collecting sankharas.
No, I did not talk about collective samskaras. I do not remember talking. Collecting. Accumulating, yeah. Karma, what means karma? What is definition of karma? Karma means samskara, ayuhana. Ayuhana means gathering.
It's synonyms. Karma and samskara.
No. Samskara does not need to lead to karma, but when you accumulate samskaras, it will lead to karma. That is a difference. We accumulate samskaras, therefore we are subjected to the karma. But in case of an arahat, like the samskara comes and it's like the waves in the ocean, immediately disappears.
Something to do with winds then? Winds? Or
Wind of ignorance is there. But wind of ignorance is accumulating the samskaras. We all do that, that's why we are not arahats.
So when we take rebirth, so we carry our samskara or karma? Both.
Of course, the karma is the accumulation of samskaras, so we carry the karmas and samskaras, you cannot separate. That's why in Sanskrit, accumulating of samskaras is called abhisamskara. Abhisamskara means that which is energy which makes the mind move. We can have samskaras, but we not necessarily have the energy which makes the mind move. That we will learn in our text also. When the mind moves, it is moved by ignorance. So you have to live with samskaras. We are samskaras. We are nothing but samskaras. But question is, if they move the mind, then it is a wind of ignorance. Abhisamskara. Yes, we don't want too much discussion, but okay. So, yeah.
I want you to ask a very simple, stupid question you might feel. You've been talking about this whole mindfulness, mind. Unfortunately, English language confuses a lot. You say things like, "Are you out of your mind? I lost my mind. A thought came to my mind." So the word mind has been used in so many multiple ways in English language. And when it comes to the subject we are talking now, mindfulness, is mind an organ? Is it software? Is it hardware? Is it
Well, mindfulness is an English word, but it is a very good translation, but it will never translate this sati or smriti. You have a great advantage if you know some Indian languages, because the Indian way of thinking is not necessarily the same as the Western way of thinking. And when we are aware of it, it is a great treasure for intelligence. So smriti, like in Hindi, it has a still same meaning. It means memory. To be mindful means to have memory. But to have memory of what? Of the present object of your attention. So that makes the object clear in the mind. If you don't have the memory of the present object of your attention, your mind will run to another object. Right? And you have the memory, present memory of your object of attention, that means you are mindful. Your mind is full with that present memory. So it is a very good translation. But it does not explain this memory concept. So when you practice present memory, it also implies you have a clear understanding, a clear memory of the past. It has to do also with the past. When you practice attention, your mind will be clear. When your mind is clear, you will remember better the past events. So how do we manifest our lack of memory? We do one thing and forget what we are doing and start doing another thing. So that means the mind is not very clear. We all do that. But the Arahat does not do it. Even a great minds like Newton is said to have boiled the egg and put his watch into the boiling water. He was so concentrated, but this is not the mindful concentration. So this is very important to understand since we are talking general things. In Buddhism, we also explain the right samadhi and wrong samadhi. Sama samadhi, micha samadhi in Pali. The micha samadhi, you can have a good concentration, but you don't have mindfulness. So you only concentrate to catch something. Like a cat is extremely concentrated to catch the mouse. But this is nothing to do with wisdom. Now, the Sama Samadhi means concentration with sati. So you are concentrated, but you remember everything that is going on. If you develop this kind of concentration, it means you are leading towards liberation. You are leading your mind towards liberation. But if you have a concentration like a cat, to get something for yourself, not for the sake of benefiting the beings as well as yourself, which is the aim of Buddhist practice, then it is a wrong concentration. And wrong concentration cannot have the wholesome results. Cat can catch the mouse, but it will not bring any wholesome results whatsoever. So what our mind does depends on our motivation. If we have great motivation, we become great. If we have wrong motivation, catching the mouse, catching some more profit, then we will not get great results. Even if we get a lot of money, we will not be satisfied. So, come back to meditation on the breath. The first stage is ganana, counting. And counting means to be continually aware of the object of your attention. Here is the breath. The next one is anugamana, the following. Following, anugamana. Anu means follow, no? This is explained in the Anapanasati Sutta, which is a base for this meditation. Same in Sanskrit, same in Pali, more or less. Little differences are there. Anugamana means Digham asasanto digham asasamiti pajanati, digham pasasanto digham pasasamiti pajanati, rasam asasanto rasam asasamiti pajanati, rasam pasasanto rasam pasasamiti pajanati. When I breathe a long breath, I am completely aware, I am breathing a long breath. When I breathe out a long breath, I am completely aware, I am breathing out a long breath. When I breathe in a short breath, I am completely aware, I am breathing in a short breath. When I'm breathing out a short breath, I am completely aware, I am breathing out a short breath. This means anugamana. So if you have anugamana, your mindfulness will ripen. When your mindfulness will ripen, you have awareness. When your mindfulness will not ripen, you don't have awareness. So anugamana. So this ganana is a preliminary to the anugamana. If you cannot be aware of in-breath and out-breath, if you cannot be mindful of the in-breath and out-breath, you will not be able to follow it. When some other object comes, it will run to the other object. That is monkey mind. Right? Now, shamatha is the process of taming the monkey mind. We all have habits of the monkey mind, especially in this modern world. We are all coming back to our origin. We all have tendency of the monkey mind. In the ancient times, especially in India, the part of education was the training in concentration, memorizing. The same in the West also. Our ancestors, they knew the Bible by heart. They did not need to read it. It was the ancient way of education was memorizing. So when you follow the breath, you are memorizing the breath. When you are memorizing the breath does not come out of the mind. So it becomes a clear mental image. Then the next stage is called thapana, stapana, placing. Stapayati iti stapana. You are making the mind stable, making it to stand. The causative of stapana. On the image of the breath, which you have made clear through following the breath. So this stage is explained by two exercises. Sabbakaya patisamvedi asasamiti sikhati, sabbakaya patisamvedi pasasamiti sikhati. being aware of the whole body, I breathe in. Being aware of the whole body, I breathe out. Now, as using the Visuddhimagga explanation, which is wonderful, actually what is meant here means three bodies. Three bodies come together. Therefore you can go into samadhi on the breath, because the three bodies come together. Which three bodies? The body of the breath. Second, the body of the breath is based on this physical body. If we don't have the physical body, we do not breathe. So this literally this physical body that we have, this sharira.
The second one.
Yes, the body of the breath, the sharira, the physical body, and the mental body. The mind is also body, because there is no mind without the mental factors which make the content of the mind. If you don't have perception, if you don't have sensation, if you don't have will, so what mind will arise? No mind as such. If you don't have attention, where is the mind? Very important if you want to understand Yogacara. Try to analyze the mind when you have no attention. See what will happen. When the attention is there, there is will. When will is there, you perceive, you sense, you experience. This is how we work. They have to be there at the same time, and they are content of the mind. And they are the five aggregates, the object, the rupa, the attention, which gives rise to the will, that is the samskara. Then, when there is will, you go to the object. When you go to the object, you perceive it. When you perceive it, you sense it. When you sense it, you can differentiate it. So this is how we work. This is the mental body. Now you are learning Yogacara. This object also comes from the mind. In order to be aware of it, you have to have samadhi based on mindfulness. And next exercise is pasambayam kaya sankaram asasisamiti. Asasisamiti sikati, pasambayam kaya sankaram pasasisamiti sikati. I learn to breathe in and breathe out while sublimating the breath. Breath means the formation of the body. Without the breath, the body is not formed. Because the body is formed, we can think, we can speak, we can move the body.
So what is it called again in Hindi? The fourth
Hmm?
stage? What is the fourth stage called again?
Still the second stage, third stage, second exercise.
Tapana. We are explaining the stage of placing the mind on the mental image of the breath.
But it's the fourth exercise, Pasambayam Kaya Sankara.
Second exercise.
It's the fourth of the Anapanasati.
So, more or less the process is the same of shamatha in a northern tradition, southern tradition. It is the same thing. Now you are learning the Yogacara, so you are also learning that this object is actually the mental object. It is the image. It is the image of the mind. Body is also image of the mind.
Everything.
When the image changes, we experience the body different way. Now, when you have mastered the shamatha, that means you have attained the fourth dhyana, the breath goes away. This is the ideal situation to study vipassana. And how you study vipassana? The first, investigating. Anvekshana, anu-ikshana. What investigating? These 5 aggregates, they are just a process. The process is impermanence. Whatever is process is only impermanence. Cannot be anything else. Body is a process, it is impermanence. Mind is a process, it is impermanence. So where you want to go? You have to realize in this impermanence. When you understand this impermanence, you can detach. This is called vivartana. Patanjali defines yoga as what? Chitta vritti nirodha. Vivartana is the same process. You let go the activities of the mind. Vivartana means turning away from impermanence, turning away from the process of arising and passing away. This process of arising and passing is called samsara. Why is it called samsara? Sar means extend, sam means together. It extends together from immortal time It extends together in one moment, it extends together in kalpas, in millions and millions of years. And then it shrinks again. So you have samsara in one moment, you have samsara in one mental process, you have samsara in one life, and you have samsara in endless kalpas. Process arising, passing, arising, passing. So you see it, therefore you let go. We are holding like the ticks, they call it in English, no? But now you are learning the Yogacara, this understanding that you are holding like a tick, sucking the blood. This is wisdom. So when you see it, you are wise. Most of us don't see it, so we are deluded. So after Vivartana, what comes? Shuddhi. Shuddhi, purity. What you want to attain by Vivartana is the purity. The Buddha, the aim of Buddhism and the aim of all true religion is nothing but this purity. If there is purity, we don't need any religion. Because there is no purity, we all need a religion. And in this tradition, also in the Western mystical tradition, the purity comes from the mind, no? So the aim of religion is to attain the pure mind. This is the only treasure. For that, mindfulness. Mindfulness, key to awareness. Awareness, now you are learning, is a Buddha. When we have more awareness, we are the more Buddha. And this awareness should happen in every moment. In every moment, samsara and nirvana comes together. So now we have talked for 1 hour. We have a good base for more talking and getting more into the text. So this is the structure of the meditation on the breath on which we will work, and more important, which we will experience. So I hope you get some more clarity, and this clarity will develop further, and the result of this clarity should be mental peace. Okay, so we will do how long break? Walking meditation?
Would that be agreeable? Would people like a short break for washroom and then practice
So let us do 15 minutes walking meditation, 45 minutes sitting meditation. Then again, 15 minutes, now we have 11 o'clock, right?
That will bring us to 11, yes. And then we'll have one.
Now it's 10 or 11?
No, it's 10.
Okay, so we have twice 15 minutes of walking and 45 minutes of meditation. Very good. Huh?
Bante, at the risk of cheating our participants of the advantage of beginner's mind, could you offer a short tip for walking meditation for those who have not practiced before?
Well, for the best is now you are learning how to get into more the non-dualistic meditation. Just be aware when you're walking, fully aware you are walking, and don't give rise to other mind. This is Zen. When you are walking, only walking. When the other minds arise, they are empty. The walking is real. So you can walk fast, you can, like in Zen, we walk very fast, then very slowly. There is no correct walking and no non-correct. The correct walking is to be fully aware you are just walking. This is different from Theravada, where you, in walking, you try to see the change of the elements and so on. And that is also good. But this gives you great flexibility, so that you can face all kinds of situations without being disturbed. And this is very practical for modern life.